90 years ago, the Virginia Farm Bureau made our local farmers a promise to protect and preserve a way of life they work so hard to establish. Today, our insurance agents work to protect all Virginians, not just farmers. We want to keep Virginia, Virginia. More information is at farmbureauadvantage.com.
The remarkable soybean. From its oil, we get products like ink, candles, and paint. From its meal, we get a high-protein fiber used in foods and animal feeds. Natural soy is replacing chemicals and products you use every day. You can learn more about soybeans at vasoybean.com.
Farmers are always looking to add value to their products. But how do grain farmers, specifically soybean growers, add value to their product? That's our focus during Ag Insights later in the program. We'll also have a story about a produce auction that's helping Virginia farmers diversify their operations and ultimately become more profitable. Plus, Mark Viette will join us as we explore the topic of how to keep color in the farmhouse landscape, even in the dog days of summer. Those stories and more on this episode of Virginia Farming. I'm Jeff Ishii. Summertime weather patterns are stressing field crops and pastures around Virginia. During the last week of July, 22% of the corn crop and 12% of the Virginia soybean crop were rated in poor or very poor condition. Virginia farmers have seen a lot of variability in soil moisture and precipitation this summer. Some farmers report adequate rains and possibly some of the best crops they've seen in years, while others, not so much. A report from the National Agricultural Statistics Service at the end of July also indicated more than 25% of Virginia pastures were in poor or very poor condition. Well, a produce auction in the Shenandoah Valley has seen a lot of success since opening a few years ago. It's helping farmers in numerous Virginia counties diversify their operations and ultimately become more profitable. Let's get the story from Virginia Farm Bureau and Dave Miller.
The Shenandoah Valley Produce Auction has been selling local flowers and produce in wholesale bulk lots since 2005. Whether you're a home gardener with some extra produce or a professional grower with 5 to 10 acres, your produce is welcome at the auction, where it is sold to the highest bidder. And by providing a central purchasing site, the auction helps commercial buyers find a consistent source of quality local produce.
Other than the farmers market 1 or 2 days a week, they didn't know where to get fresh local produce. But with the auction coming along and then a lot more roadside stands and farm markets and even the independent grocery stores coming here and buying and then advertising it in their store as fresh local produce. And the customer can tell the difference.
Third-generation grower Charlie Martin has been farming since 1957. He grows produce in the summer to supplement his livestock and poultry income. He's been with the auction since it started and likes the fact that he doesn't have to do the selling himself.
When the auction come in to existence, I soon seen that the best thing about it is I didn't have to hear anybody complain that I was charging them too much. Because they raised their hand, I want that produce. And so I didn't make them bid. So that's what I really like about the produce auction.
The Shenandoah Produce Market has grown every year and now has a large permanent building in Dayton, Virginia, with plenty of parking. Heatwell says the auction eliminates the middleman by facilitating a transaction between growers and buyers, both large and small. The auction house receives a 10% fee from each sale, and anyone can purchase the produce. Restaurants, food service companies, farmers markets, farm stands, and individuals are all customers. In addition to giving the local produce industry a needed boost, Heatwell says the auction has a strong relationship with the local food bank.
Somebody saw someone buy some produce here and donate it to the food bank. And that business person said, well, hey, I'd love to do the same thing, but I can't be here at the auction all the time. And he was wondering if he could give a donation to the food bank in order to buy produce for here. So we got with the Blue Ridge Area Food Bank and set up a program, and anyone can donate money to the Blue Ridge Area Food Bank that will go for purchasing local produce. So last year we sent over 100,000 pounds of produce to the Blue Ridge Area Food Bank through that program.
Martin says if a grower sells regularly, packages consistently, and all the produce is good quality, The auction is a great market.
I never have to worry, oh, I got an overabundance, I went to the farmer's market, I couldn't sell it, oh, I can't keep it over the weekend. If I bring it here, it's sold. We strive here to sell the best and eat the rest.
The auction is open Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays throughout the summer. More than $1 million worth of produce is sold through the auction each growing season, and smaller growers have a great place to market their crops. In Rockingham County, this is Dave Miller.
Thank you, Dave, for that report. Virginia cattle producers know that when it comes to marketing, you have to think globally. Bob Severa has that story.
Trade is always significant in the beef business, but this season of the cattle cycle puts an exclamation point on that fact.
If we think about the cattle side, just from a cattle cycle nature, we've expanded the beef cow herd by over 2 million head over the last 2 years, which means we've got bigger supplies for at least the next 2 to 3 years to work through. And of course, pork and poultry supplies are up as well. They're profitable with the lower input cost. So you roll that all together, we've got more protein to consume not only domestically, but hopefully that trade number will continue to grow so we can export more as well.
Good also says resuming beef trade with China gives us strong headwinds.
Well, as we think about the global protein supply is growing slowly, 1 to 2% a year, that's kind of offsetting, plus a little bit the population growth. As we think about the spots around the globe that produce protein the most cheaply, it's the U.S. as well as South America. So from a long-term perspective, in a lot of the proteins, that's where our competition will come from.
The key advantage the U.S. has over other exporters continues to be the kind of beef product America's cattlemen deliver.
Well, as we think about quality, is a big part of that. The U.S. product is a gold standard. Choice and Above, in particular, is a gold standard from the U.S. In the global market. In addition to that, if we came back and looked at the domestic demand, we can really see this year in particular, the choice grade was up 1% in 2016. It's right at 70%. Prime grade was up at 5.6% compared to 5.1% the year prior. Despite that, producing more choice and prime product, the choice select spread was wider in 16 by $3.15, and the premium product spreads are widening out as well, which tells us that the consumer has the taste and preference for top 2/3 choice and above product.
Those market signals point to more open doors for the best beef. I'm Bob Cervera.
Thank you, Bob, for that report. Well, farmers are always looking to add value to their products. This week we visit with Craig Bailey of Greenmount Roasting to see how he's helping farmers add value to their grains. Amy Rocher will bring us that special report during Ag Insights, coming up next.
So today we're in Harrisonburg, Virginia, and we're visiting Greenmount Grain Roasting. I'm joined by owner Craig Bailey. Craig, thank you so much for having us out today.
It's very good to have you all here today.
So what exactly is grain roasting? This is new to me.
Actually, it's been around for at least 30 to 40 years. It's more common today than it was 30, 40 years ago. But basically, we heat treat grain, and it makes it more digestible, more nutritious for the animal. A lot of benefits besides the nutrition, as far as molds and toxin levels, we can reduce those. And also we can dry the crop at the same time. So we're getting a lot of things covered with one process, and
okay.
It's proven to be very profitable.
So how long have you been doing this?
This is our 13th, it's going on our 13th year. So
okay.
we've been working at this since 2003.
All right. Well, the name of your company has Grain Roasting, and we've got a big pile of soybeans here behind us. Do you roast anything besides soybeans?
We primarily roast soybeans and corn. We do some barley and a little bit of wheat, and last year we did triticale.
Okay.
And these are grains that are harvested, as a feed grain. So it's not a forage; it's actually a feed grain. So.
Okay. So, is this treated like silage?
No, silage has a lot of moisture.
A moisture.
And a grain has to be dry to be able to be stored properly.
That's what I was going to ask. How is it stored? So is it just stored in bins?
Yeah, grain bins or like feed tanks, or some people decide to put them on a concrete floor and store them that way. So we typically, when a load comes in, we'll just dump it on the concrete and scoop it up and run it through our machine, and that works really well for our setup right now.
Okay. I want to talk a little bit about your setup, because you take this show on the road.
Yes, we basically can roast anywhere that is available for us to go, and we're 100% contained. We carry our own propane that powers the roaster, and we have a generator that powers all the equipment. So we can pretty much run a 8 to 10 hour day without any support.
Now, when you take the roaster out on the road, do you have to have special licensing to drive because you are carrying propane?
Yes, we have to carry a CDL license with a hazard material endorsement on our license. But it just makes the experience for the farmer so much more easier. There's nothing they have to worry about other than to get set up and to help us to do the job, and it makes it very enjoyable for the farmer and for ourselves.
Hey, anything you can do to make their job easier, right?
That's right.
So how many people do you employ with the roasting business?
Right now we have one full-time, and besides myself, and 3 or 4 part-time. Now the part-time come in at harvest. That's when we're the busiest. I mean, sometimes we run around the clock 24 hours. Just, if especially with corn and there's a lot of crop coming off and it's high moisture, we want to get it dried down as quick as possible. And of course, with corn, your yields are always higher than with soybeans, so it takes longer to roast an acre of corn. But as far as the rest of the year, usually one person can pretty much handle the work that comes in each week, and we're not busy every day, but it's very common to have 2 or 3 days a week tied up in roasting. So, but we also have trucking services and things like that. We can haul the grain for you, or if someone needs soybeans or roasted corn, we purchase it. We actually raise it on our farm here, but we will also purchase it, and that's what happened here. We purchased beans for another customer.
Okay.
And we'll roast it, we'll grind it and crimp it, or whatever the customer wants. It's a full service.
So when you say roast it or crimp it, are there different recipes that you kind of follow for different grains?
Well, in roasting, with soybeans, we try to typically run at 300 degrees. The internal temperature of the soybean is 300 degrees. On corn, we monitor the moisture level. When our moisture is down below 15, usually 14% is what we shoot for, then we know we're good. So there are different, each grain is a little different how we roast it.
Okay.
With barley, we try to get about a third of the kernels to crack, to pop open, and they'll sort of puff open.
So let me ask you, how on earth do you find out that the center of a soybean is at 300 degrees?
Okay, we have a can that we actually put a thermometer in, and we take can temperatures. And so we will do that periodically throughout the process. Typically, I've done this long enough, I can look at it, and I can tell by the machine, my gauges and everything, I can pretty much hit it pretty close.
Now, do the beans change in appearance at all after they're roasted? Do they get darker?
Actually, all the grain will actually swell up. It'll actually puff out. With soybeans, they'll get a little larger, and the skins on the outside will get a little darker. And they'll have, we have a flame roaster, which actually the beans actually fall through the direct flame 5 to 6 times before they leave the roaster. And so you will have a little bit of a scorch mark, but for mold and toxins, we really like that better. The flame can actually burn that off. So we really like our process.
So someone can call and you can either go to them, but a lot of your business, they bring it to you. They bring their soybeans or corn, whatever.
I would say a small fraction brings it to me. Typically, it's people that have small quantities. At harvest, we have bins here that farmers will actually fill the bins up while we're out on the road roasting, and then we'll come back, a day that we're slower. We'll set up here at the farm and continue to roast their customers' grain.
Well, you mentioned, mold and moisture being reduced. So does that mean does roasted grain last longer? Can you store it for longer amounts of time?
Well, in order to store it for an extended period of time, it needs to be dry. And a lot of different grains have different moisture levels that they will keep at. Typically the molds come from where somebody put the grain in the bin just a little bit too wet. Or they put it in the bin dry, but when they put air on it, it might have been a day that was damp and rainy or something, and they got moisture in the grain, and then it'll start to deteriorate. And there's different stages of molds and mycotoxins, and we can't eradicate it 100%, but we can reduce it. And if it's caught in the early stage, we've done a lot of testing where we'll send samples off and there's no presence. But again, it depends on what stage that the grain is, the molds and things are in. So it's a lot of different variables there, and it's every year is a different thing, a different challenge, it seems like. So,
right. So if you roast an acre of corn, how long does that last? Does it have a fairly substantial shelf life? So you could actually roast earlier and all you need to do is worry about storing it at that point?
Well, typically, a year is about all you want to store any grain. And roasting does take care of the moisture, and I think it does extend the shelf, the life a little bit, but it still has to be treated as a feed grain. If you put it in a bin, you still need to take care of it. You need to keep an eye on it and put some air to it occasionally on a good dry day.
Okay.
Soybeans is not quite as critical, but corn is a little bit temperamental. So I would say if a farmer's going to roast and they store it in bins, they need to treat it as a normal feed grain.
Okay, right.
Whether it's roasted or not roasted. So
what feedback are you getting? Are dairy farmers getting more milk production when they use roasted grains?
Yeah, a lot of guys this year, soybean prices have dropped over the last 8 to 10 months. And a lot of guys that have never used soybeans before are using them now and saying they're very pleased. Their production has gone up, their feed costs have gone down because they raised the product from the farm. The old saying goes, a farmer has to buy retail and he sells wholesale and he pays freight both ways. So I tell farmers, if you're paying freight to haul your grain out and then you're bringing freight to bring something back in, that cost right there would have covered your roasting cost. So, it's all how you look at it. If you want to feed your own product, it's a great alternative. If you don't mind feeding other feed grains that maybe have seeds from somebody else's field that you don't have in your field, then you could have some issues there with weed control in your own croplands.
Sure.
So there's a lot of different variables. Now on corn, several people have several universities that have done studies, and they're seen a 4 to 6 pound increase in milk production and a 2 to 4 pound decrease in corn going into the ration. So they're actually reducing their corn intake and they're increasing their milk production.
Wow.
And we typically see for every dollar that you spend, you're going to get $2 back. And
wow. That's pretty amazing.
It's a pretty good buy, we feel.
Now, do you work with anybody at Virginia Tech or VSU to help you? You say you test things a lot and you're doing studies.
I do, like my testing, I just send them off to a lab that does the different tests.
Okay.
Now, as far as university studies, I'll work with a company in Pennsylvania that actually manufactures the equipment, and they are tied in with several universities and a vet school in Pennsylvania, and they've done a lot of in vitro tests where they do rumen degradation and all. So it's very extensive. Now, I've never done anything with Virginia Tech because I'm a smaller guy compared to the manufacturer that manufactures equipment, and their equipment goes worldwide, so they typically, take care of that end of it, the research and development, and they've done a very good job, at it, and they share their results with me and other people that have machines like we have.
Okay. Well, if any of our viewers want more information on Green Mountain Grain Roasting, where should they go?
They can call me directly at area code 540-578-0760, or they can email us at greenmountgrainroasting@gmail.com, and they can just shoot me an email and we can respond. And we're not afraid to go anywhere. We travel 3 to 4 hours away.
As long as there's a path to get there, you can get there, right?
Right, exactly.
Well, Craig, thank you so much for having us out today. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you for taking the time to come visit.
We'll be right back.
Well, at this time of the year, a lot of farmhouse gardens and landscapes are, well, they're lacking color. But it doesn't have to be this way. We learn more about midsummer color from Mark Viette as we go in the garden.
If we want color after our daffodils have finished blooming or our tulips have finished in a garden, you can plant what we call summer bulbs. And they can include something in the way of liliums, which have beautiful fragrance, at least the varieties I like do. You can even put in, now we call these bulbs, they're not all bulbs, but you have dahlias that you can put in the garden. Now in some cases you can put these right out in the garden, or you can fill your containers with these bulbs that will give you color all summer long. It's not hard to do. Just get a nice container. I like to use rather large containers, and I like to fill them with 5 or more different types of plants. All you have to do is take what we call a soilless mix. This is just not your garden soil, but this has maybe peat, perlite, pine bark, and other additives. It stays nice and loose throughout the summer months. So you get that material, and you partially fill your container, almost maybe 4 inches from the top, and then you can take your bulbs. Now, you might consider something like the giant elephant ears. Now remember, the bigger the bulb, the bigger the leaves. So you can put that maybe in the background of this container and set that in. Then I'm going to go ahead and put this beautiful double pink lilium with a lot of fragrance in the front. And I'm going to put, one of the dwarf short dahlias on the side. Even if you want to put gladiolas, you can put them in. But I do recommend, both for the garden and even in containers, to plant these about at least 12 inches deep, so they're a little bit shorter and they don't fall over in the garden. And then the other thing you can consider, you can put caladiums, or you can put the beautiful calla lilies. Now, many times you're going to find these plants in a plastic bag just like this, maybe filled with a little bit of organic matter, but the bigger usually is better. These are some callas that I dug from the garden, and nice, beautiful, large type bulbs. And here is one that I purchased that really is only about 1/4 of the size. This is going to perform better for me. So sometimes you got to open up the box, make sure you know what you're getting before you get it. So you set these plants inside your container like this, and the next step is you're going to go ahead and cover them with your potting soil. You can also go ahead and plant these summer flowering bulbs in the garden. And if you have more of the perennial type, these are types that come back every year, like liliums, you can plant them in the garden. It's just easy. Just go ahead, plant them. But if you're dealing with some of the more tender bulbs, like I talked about a minute ago, calla lilies, or even some of your gladiolas, it is far better to plant them a little deeper in a garden, especially in the colder areas, so they don't freeze during the winter months. But you can fill your garden, your container, with these summer flowering bulbs, and you can enjoy color all summer long, all the way in some cases through till fall. I'm Mark Viette. Join me next time in the garden.
Well, our pearl of wisdom this week, it comes from my wife, so it has to be the best pearl of wisdom we've ever had. She heard it from her mother, who heard it from her mother, who heard it from, well, you get the drift. But it's absolutely true. Waste not, want not. Enough said. If you have a pearl of wisdom you'd like to share with us, you can do so through our website at virginiafarming.com. Remember, you can catch our show on demand anytime you like, whether it's from your poultry house or your tractor cab. It's on demand 24/7 at virginiafarming.com. That does it for our show this week. Have a great week, everyone. I'm Jeff Ishii for Virginia Farming.
90 years ago, the Virginia Farm Bureau made our local farmers a promise to protect and preserve a way of life they work so hard to establish. We want to keep Virginia, Virginia. Anyone can be a Farm Bureau member, and there's a local Farm Bureau in every county. More information is at vafarmbureau.org.
Virginia soybean farmers are hard at work growing soybeans to produce products you use every day. Candles, soaps, even crayons can be made from soybeans. Remember, when you buy soy, you're helping to support American jobs, the economy, and our nation's energy security.